Kamusta from Atlanta, Georgia, here in the United States. My name is Leif Korlum. I'm the executive editor of the CNN Freedom Project, which is our network's efforts to help those on the ground trying to fight modern-day slavery around the globe. The Fighters, the film you're about to see, took nearly 2 years to produce, and it showcases the problem of human trafficking in the Philippines. It also follows a woman named Cecilia Flores Obanda of the Visayan Forum, as she not only battles the human traffickers, but also works to convince Manny Pacquiao, the great Manny Pacquiao, to join her cause. It's a special film about a special place. I love the Philippines, and it involves some very special people. So I hope you'll pay attention, and I hope you support them. And I guess the only thing left to say is alas nako, and please enjoy the show. Thank you.
How much will it cost?
Only 500.
Few of us have ever seen evil up close. But the girls in this story all have. They are just a few of the 1 million children believed to be involved in human trafficking around the world. My name is Leif Korlum. 2 years ago, I traveled to the Philippines to cover a story about child prostitution. That's when I first met a woman named Cecilia Flores Obanda, who has committed her life to protecting children and fighting modern-day slavery. Now she's hoping to convince the Philippines' favorite son, Manny Pacquiao, to lead the battle. But for those fighting for a better world, nothing in life comes easy.
When I see Westerners in the red light district, I know that they are buying flesh. They are the destination area of our trafficking girls, and if no one patronize that, and if no Westerner go to that area, there's no business for traffickers in the Philippines.
This is where many trafficking victims in Manila often end up. On the streets, or in areas where businessmen are known to unwind. Transactions between prostitutes and Johns are done out in the open, even at popular cafes in Manila's ritzy business district. The Filipino government estimates there are 800,000 people working in the illegal sex industry, and they estimate anywhere from 60,000 to 600,000 are children. By the time this girl we'll call Maria turned 15, she'd had several dozen sexual partners, and every one of them had paid money to rape her.
She said that she was 15 years old when she was recruited. When she arrived, she thought it's a restaurant, but it's a casa. And when she get out, go inside and climb the second floor, she find out around 16 more girls actually staying in that small place. There are some of them are younger than her, 13 years old, 14 years old.
Maria's virginity was sold for $250 to a foreign man. After that first traumatizing experience, her captors continued capitalizing on her youth.
There are times that they are forced to serve at least 13 customers per day.
Many of the men who buy sex pay a premium for virgins, and traffickers are willing to go to extreme and disgusting measures to satisfy the demand.
Pag nangangailangan sila ng virgin.
Virgins,
Kasi mahirap naman yan hanapin yung virgin.
There are some actually ask for virgins.
Inaano nila sa may...
And since she said that it's very difficult to find virgins, they are forced to get a cotton, dip it in a pigeon's blood, and put it in their sex organ. We were able to raid the casa, and were able to recover around 23 more girls And since then, actually, she's an instrumental to a lot of reports. She's afraid.
That's scary.
It's scary.
The Visayan Forum took Maria's recruiter and the owner of the brothel to court, but a judge dismissed the case. It's morning in Manila's North Harbor. At the halfway house for human trafficking victims, the Visayan Forum staff is already busy. Overnight, the Filipino Coast Guard uncovered 3 suspected trafficking rings on a ship heading to Manila.
Of course, in every operation, you put your life in danger because we don't know who's with the traffickers. It's really the idea of saving life and capture this trafficker and put them in jail so that they can stop deceiving our people, our women and children.
Cecilia Flores Obanda and her anti-trafficking organization, the Visayan Forum, have answered the prayers of more than 20,000 girls and young women trapped in modern-day slavery. They've conducted thousands of operations like this before. Many of the victims rescued share stories of horrific abuse while hidden away in back rooms and brothels. With thousands of passengers headed off the boat in a matter of minutes, Cecilia and the team must act quickly if they hope to catch the traffickers.
Let's go. I'm nervous. It's around 50% who are violent. The traffickers sometimes try to fight back. The first thing that struck me is the group which in the middle, which actually shows very, very young children. The lady in the middle is actually giving them instructions, what kind of job they have, what are they going to do, where they're going.
Cecilia talks with the group. She's casual and calculating, always probing for signs the suspects may not be telling the truth.
They keep on changing the work. And when I asked some, identification documents, she cannot also show anything.
After a few minutes of questioning, the task force is confident 2 groups are just large families traveling together. But the third group appears to be something else entirely. As officers escort the suspects off the boat, I'm struck by how routine this all appears to be. Human trafficking is a hidden crime. The United Nations believes it exists on every continent, in nearly every country. But Obanda says she's constantly frustrated by how few people in the Philippines are aware of the danger.
It requires a whole country to realize that we are all vulnerable and our children were actually sold and resold as sex toys, forced into servitude, forced into slavery.
Obanda believes if she can just convince a major star to join the fight against modern slavery, it could turn the tide. She has one man in mind.
Manny Pacquiao!
He's an idol of many people because of his story.
He is perhaps the most famous Filipino in history. All quite impressive for a man who, like many others, was born into extreme poverty.
Kung experience ang pag-usapan talagang malaki at malawak ang ating experience sa buhay. At yun yung isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit ako talagang ganun na lang ang puso ko na tumulong sa mga mahirap.
In 2010, Pacquiao was elected to Congress. He now has the will, the popularity, and the power to change laws. Obanda dreams of what it would mean if he became human trafficking's most fearsome opponent.
I hope that Manny realized that this fight go beyond 12 rounds.
Finding victims of human trafficking is like trying to catch a fish. While hundreds may exist below the surface, pulling them out isn't easy. And in most cases, rescues can only be done a few at a time.
If you observe how they are like fish that just come into the center. For one day, you have 2, 3 rescued. So that's the situation. unfortunately.
Cybersex is a relatively new phenomenon in the Philippines. The internet makes it easy for pedophiles to abuse children anywhere in the world, and it's incredibly hard for law enforcement to stop. As Obanda's staff continued working on the latest case in the halfway house, she offered to take our crew outside the city to an undisclosed permanent shelter for abused girls. Afternoon, at the Center of Hope. There are about 30 girls here. They range from 12 to 20 years old. Every girl in this room was sold in one way or another, some as domestic servants, others were rescued from brothels. The girls fill their days playing, talking, learning skills, all the while living behind locked gates and long fences, because it's too dangerous to expose them to the streets in which they were born. If you could live off love, the Center of Hope would be a palace. But as it stands now, the Visayan Forum is just trying to keep the lights on and the cupboards full.
Beyond that, of course, we would like to give them a good training, because beyond everything, what is really important is they learn to dream again, they learn to be child again.
It was bright and sunny on the day we met 3 girls at the center, all under the age of 12.
The 3 girls is a very precious girls for us because they are really very sweet.
They have faces that light up a room, only it's too dangerous to show them. One of the girls takes the microphone to sing for us, the anthem at the Center of Hope.
You show me how to soar so high. You give me oceans of life to feel up the pain you give me.
They're so young and innocent.
But if you really look in their eyes, the trauma is really so deep that until now, they wake up in the middle of the night screaming and crying because they are so afraid that the trafficker will come again. Sometimes we don't really understand why one of the kids just sometimes suddenly got sick and she always vomit. And our psychologist said that because she remembers what these guys in the internet asked her to do.
Internet cafe po. Pinapagawa po sa akin yung pinapahubad, tapos pinapasayaw. Medyo nahiya po ako kasi hindi po ako sanay na makahubad ako ng ganun. Mas nasanay lang ako na may damit, kaya ako nahiya.
Saan kayo pinapasayaw?
Doon po sa harap ng kamera.
Nag-uubad din po tapos pinapasayaw. Tapos po pinapabukaka din po kami ng pagkat.
They're covering their ears. They don't even to hear themselves saying it. Ano pang ibang pinapagawa sa inyo?
Yung balika na
Blacky ad na Blacky ad. Yung ganun na
Pinapabending kayo na hubad?
Opo. Opo na. Tapos yung kapitbahay din po namin na lalaki na pinapapunta din po na pinapahubad din. Tapos pinapahawakan yung araw sa amin.
Tapos kung ako naman ang pipiliin, yung lalaki paupo, tapos ako yung parang
Sinabak na
yung parang pinapunta dito na yun. Tapos yung lalaki nakabuka ka. Tapos minsan po na yung mga pinapagawa, yung umiihi na yun. Umiihi.
Yung ano na
Yun na yun.
Pinitan ng ayaw na.
Di na yung kasamahan namin na yun.
yung ano na
Paano yun? Hindi ko maintindihan.
yung juice na ano na sinasagulan ng ihi.
Ihi na
Tapos na iniinom.
Hayop naman mo.
paiiin daw yung naiihi, tapos ipakita daw sa camera.
Nakikita ba kayo ng tao doon sa
Kasi may inaano yung camera.
inaalis? Pag sumuka na kayo, inaalis yung camera.
Camera kasi na pinapaharap sa
Sa,
tsaka yung kamay namin.
it's first time to me to hear it, so I think we really need to let this story out because we cannot afford to make these things happen.
Sana po may pamilya sila. Baka din po may mga anak silang babae po.
She begged you to stop. Said that you need to stop so that you stop exploiting them. You can stop victimizing girls like them. They really strip the dignity, you know, and this is unacceptable.
When we finished talking, Cecilia took the girls outside to have a quiet moment. As they stood together, arm in arm, the sky darkened, and a heavy thunderstorm swept over the valley. I thought back to when I was a child and what we called the rain. Tears from heaven.